All right, welcome to my presentation on the methodologies for marketing carbon capture consumer products to key demographics. My name is Joey Self, and this is my honors capstone in partnership with SkyBaron, which is the world's first digital marketplace for carbon capture consumer products. Today, I'll be giving some quick introductions, giving an overview of the industry and company, walking you through our marketing plan that we worked on this semester, introducing you to our January 2022 launch, and then finishing with some conclusions the next. So beginning with some introductions, like I said, my name's Joey. I'm a senior studying mechanical engineering and business here at Michigan, and I was working with Megan and Hannah, who are also engineers here at Michigan. So how I got involved in this project. So Tech Lab Climate Change is a program through the Center for Entrepreneurship that allows you to work with real world companies, specifically in the carbon capture utilization and storage space. And what inspired me was a class I took last fall with Professor Scarlos called Sustainable Engineering and Design. And I was interested in the space and wanted to do a project with it and wanted to tailor my capstone around that. And so Professor Volkersik was my project advisor. However, Jonathan Fay also advised the project throughout the year. And here's my company sponsor. So James Kane is actually the founder and principal of SkyBaron, and he started the company to educate people about carbon tech and climate change as a way to normalize the use of captured carbon in consumer products. So moving on to an overview of the industry and company, you might be asking to yourself, why does carbon capture utilization and storage even matter? So in order to prevent the worst effects of climate change, alongside reducing carbon emissions, we also need to be capturing carbon that's already in the atmosphere. And currently, a lot of those practices are used exclusively in building materials such as concrete, which is a very non-public facing item. And so it can be really hard to raise awareness for the importance of carbon capture. And so SkyBaron's tasked itself with raising public awareness while also having a lasting impact. And so SkyBaron is the one-stop shop for quality carbon capture consumer products for the low-HOS consumer, which stands for lifestyle of health and sustainability. And the marketplace intends to increase awareness and education for CCUS technology while also normalizing its viability among the general public. And we also hope to consolidate and collectively grow the space because currently there's very few vendors and very few consumer products in it. On the left, you can see some of our past products. So in the top left, we have our most popular product, which is a concrete watch made with captured carbon. And that was a collaboration between Design 22 Studios, SkyBaron, and Carbon Upcycling Technologies. We then have Airco Vodka, which is a company we have a partnership with, and then Clean O2 soap and concrete writing utensils, such as this pen featured here. And you also might be wondering, how does SkyBaron differentiate itself? So one of our key components is a certification process that we've actually developed with a co-owner of the company over at the National Renewable Energy Laboratory. And we use this certification as our differentiator, where if a company is just entering the space and wants to gain brand equity, they can actually reach out to us and we'll certify their products before also putting them on our marketplace. And in order for a product to be featured on our marketplace, it needs to be made with at least some captured carbon. However, if a vendor can provide a life cycle assessment or an LCA, we will then rate that product on a 10-metric system, a 10-metric rating system in order to receive extra branding and labels. And essentially, SkyBaron translates that technical data into information that's consumer friendly and also accurate. Moving on to our project for this semester, we broke our marketing plan up into 5 sections. So the first one being our business summary, including things such as our SWOT analysis. Section 2 being our 5 key business initiatives that we believe James needs to take on in the new year. Third being our target market, so looking at both the low-HOS consumer and breaking that down into buyer personas, but also looking at the flip side of things with our vendor profiles and who's entering the space and who's already in it. Then moving on to our market strategy. So because there's so few products already in the space, we actually had to brainstorm potential products and what their price points would be. We then also came up with a budget for all of these initiatives. First, starting with the business summary. So here's our SWOT analysis and just some key takeaways. Some of our strengths include access to a major population hub. Our company is actually based in New York City, which is where James is currently in school. And then we also have an opportunity to certify products out there and translate those product characteristics to consumers. On the flip side, though, we do have some weaknesses and threats. There's limited products available in the space, and we also have a lot of potential competitors such as Amazon or Grove.co who can expand their marketplaces to encompass carbon capture products. Moving on to our key steps, our 5 steps to targeting key demographics within that low-cost consumer. So first, we want to be building awareness for SkyBaron and the CCUS space. We also want to be developing interest in that space and leading consumers to considering a purchase. We then want them to purchase that product, and then we want to retain them. And so we've tailored our business initiatives around that 5-step process, beginning with initiative 1, which is the Changes in the Air podcast, which is meant to raise awareness for SkyBaron and its industry, while also increasing interest in the space. That'll be a 10-episode, 30-minute each series about all things carbon capture, in which we hope James will actually moderate interviews with people who are experienced in the space. Our second initiative is a weekly newsletter every Friday morning in your inbox to help you consider those products that you may have thought about buying while also retaining previous customers. Our third initiative is based around a consumer product carbon capture conference, which from our understanding would be the first in world history. And that would be meant to essentially eliminate the fragmentation of all these stakeholders. SkyBaron is lucky enough to know people at every step of the value chain within the CCUS space. However, they don't know each other. And so we think that this conference will help build credibility while also creating some collaborations for potential products down the road. Now, looking at targeting both markets. So on one side, we have those vendor personas, which we've broken up into luxury, novelty, and conventional substitute goods. And then from a buyer persona standpoint, we have 4 buyer personas that we thought represented a holistic overview of the low-cost consumer. So like I mentioned earlier, this low-cost consumer makes up about 35 to 40% of Americans, and they represent people with a high belief in global warming and are also motivated to do something about it. And so we have the granola, the executive, the activist, and the academic. In terms of our competitors, we have competitors who compete directly on carbon capture products by offering a digital marketplace. And then we have companies that offer substitute products that might be sustainable, but aren't made with captured carbon. We then have digital marketplaces such as Amazon, who have the potential to offer both competition. And then we also have competing certifications. Now moving on to our January 2022 launch. So SkyBaron.eco is currently powered through Shopify. And so we were tasked with determining if Shopify was a viable long-term solution. So we created the beta version of the website where we included a homepage tailored to the low-cost consumer, a page dedicated to the SkyBaron certification methodology, and then also opportunities to connect with the brand, while also including vendor-specific pages meant to showcase their stories. So when you enter the website, this is what you will see. So welcome to SkyBaron, powered by Shopify. And here's our homepage featuring our most popular product, the watch that I mentioned earlier. As you go through our website, you'll see different collections, as well as a part featuring our certification. You'll then see some of the publications that we've been featured in, and also a few of our products. And then the SkyBaron story featuring our founder, James, and some customer reviews. And once you move over to the carbon marketplace, you'll see our vendors prominently displayed while also featuring their products. Now moving on to some conclusions and next steps from our project. So some key challenges. The biggest one being there are very limited products in this space. And so tailoring a marketing plan to products that we don't even know if they'll exist in the next year or two was very difficult to do. And that kind of tied back to this third challenge, where we were tasked with establishing and facilitating vendor relationships and agreements last semester. And that was something that we ran into a lot of trouble with, because a lot of these vendors couldn't really operate at the scale we needed them to. And jumping right back to the second challenge, we also had trouble breaking down this large low-cost consumer segment into buyer personas that we could actually target with our products. And just highlighting some next steps. So we'll be presenting our findings to James and the SkyBaron team in the next few days. We'll be launching the marketplace in January 2022. We hope to establish some more product partnerships with carbon tech companies, and we hope to secure some investments in January and February. And with that, I'd like to thank you for listening to my presentation on SkyBaron, and I hope you'll take a few moments just to check out our website, SkyBaron.eco. Thank you.